savior, therapist, or businessman. Now today I want to talk about a specific kind of individual that I see popping up more and more. These are those reckless people that were once against everything, against self-discipline, against responsibility, and even against faith itself, or any higher power for that matter. Doesn't have to be Christianity. So yes, any kind of religion was a joke to them, rules were shackles, and advice was for the weak. But after their personal catastrophe, be it addiction, financial ruin, near-death experience, the accidental killing of a friend, or a serious accident that left them incapacitated, now they suddenly see the light, or guilt for that matter. Now they become born-again advisors, counseling those who struggle with what they once indulged in. The question is, why and at what cost? Now let's examine the psychological motives behind this drastic shift. Could it be guilt? A desperate attempt to erase past mistakes? Do they see themselves as morally superior now, simply because they survived their own reckless past? Perhaps it's an unconscious power move, where they get to save others, something they were very unwilling to accept for themselves when they needed saving too. So the main thing that we have to look at here is the real issue. So here is the real issue. Psychological support is not a self-proclaimed title. These individuals lack formal training, no coursework in human behavior, no knowledge of trauma-informed care, no ethical guidelines for what they do, and they believe that surviving their own storm makes them capable of steering others to safety. But this isn't just naive, it's dangerous. Trauma, addiction, and mental health struggles require professional knowledge and professional care, not personal redemption stories repacked as therapy or formal advice. But let's not overlook the financial angle. With their transformation comes opportunity, coaching services, speaking opportunities, motivational books, engagements where they are seen as experts, and they ask for donations for their cause. The more lost they claim to have been, the more miraculous their redemption story appears, drawing in vulnerable followers who believe their past recklessness now gives them unique wisdom. But is it wisdom or just good marketing? So look at them now. Their speech polished, their expressions serene, their aura exuding moral superiority, and that certain slimy and unconvincing look in their eyes and around their mouths, almost like a cat that just had a bowl of warm milk in the winter. The transformation is almost cinematic, as if their past sins were merely a plot device in the story of their redemption. The holy halo effect makes them untouchable. Any criticism of them or their story or their miraculous saving situation is dismissed as cynicism. Skepticism is seen as an attack on faith itself, on their faith, on their experience, on their advice, and the validity of it. But the truth is, redemption isn't a qualification, and regret isn't expertise. And yet, we see it time and time again, these self-proclaimed heroes, these newfound guides, many of them relapse, fall from grace, get caught in scandals once again, because real change isn't about a sudden switch, a new title, or a new declaration of faith. It is a lifelong process, one that requires self-awareness, reflection, discipline, and often professional intervention. Not just for themselves or yourselves, but for those they claim to help. Would you trust a surgeon who learned from their own failed surgeries? Then why trust a counselor or someone who's somehow miraculously redeemed and stands up as a savior of those weaker than them, who only learned from their own past mistakes? So before we place our trust in these redeemed voices, let's ask, what are their real qualifications? What is their training? What harm could they unintentionally or intentionally cause? Because not every story of transformation is one of true growth. Some are just rebrands. And in a world where mental health is at stake more than ever, and we have too much information with too many viewpoints, we cannot afford to mistake marketing for mastery. Think critically, seek professional help, and make sure to know the difference.